Oh, oh. We are live on the SideQuest, your weekly journey into the wonderful world of video games, video game culture, and the geeks who are into all of such things. I am one of those wonderful geeks, Dolly Demofsky. Joining me, this person, Sam Dixon.
Hello, friends. I unmute my microphone to talk to people.
That's right.
That's how it
Also
works.
joining me, Tyler Eller. There you go. Oh yeah, we're dressed in red. Yeah, I have the lights on.
I'm gonna
Oh,
turn
look
down
at
the
that.
heat a
He's
little
got-
bit because it's been warmer today.
Yeah.
Oh.
And yes, we do have a list of Game Awards stuff, Sam. I have stuff loaded up. Before we get into the Game Awards,
Ugh.
I want to just once again thank our Patreon members. 1 full year of Patreon magic over at SideQuesting. Thank you for helping us pay for this website somewhat. Every little bit counts.
Wait, the Patreon's only been up for a year?
Yeah. It's only because everybody kept trying to get me to do it, and I waited, and finally, fine, I'll do it. Yeah, I have to pay my butt through the whole tax side of things, but it'll be okay. This every tiny penny counts. But thank you to our executive Punctified, who, by the way, they were posting some fantastic photos at the Game Awards. He was there with his girlfriend, and they were just having a blast. And made me miss not being there, but we're going to talk about the Game Awards in a second anyway. So also thank you to our producer, Stefan Swanlin, Zero the Prototype, Exaginous, and Jeffrey Grubb, and everybody else who is a wonderful human being who wants to be on the Patreon. Everybody who is even not on the Patreon is still a wonderful human being. But I want to lead off with something. If you're in the Patreon, if you're of the producer level upward, you're going to get something. JJ and I, and JJ's not here because it's JJ. No, he's getting ready for the holidays as well. JJ and I have been working on this little thingy for a while now, and finally had some time to do it over the last few weeks here. But we've got a zine going. SideQuesting has a zine. We're gonna put it out. We're gonna try to do it like quarterly if we can, and it'll go to the Patreon members of producer level up. And then we're going to hand these out at events and stuff, and give them out every once in a while as well. This is what this first zine looks like. Look at that. It's SideQuesting, the zine, shaped like a 3DS. It is only a 3DS size type of thing. On the front, a little bit about SideQuesting. Check out the cool stuff on the inside. We got some, JJ wrote a fantastic piece. We have a music list. We have our shop. We have some reviews that people have wrote. We have something called Swap Note, which is one of those little flip book things. I don't have it stuck on here, but trust me, it's there. And in the back, we have what the indie zone, right? We're doing the indie zone thing. So this actually has a selection of some of our favorite indies shaped like 3DS carts. Look at that, Dolly. Good job. Dolly. Anyways, if you're in the Patreon, you will get one of these guys, producer level and up. And these are going to be collector's items, and they're going to be pretty cool. So that is that. Other than that, this Friday, we are going to have the annual SideQuesting holiday parties. Like, I think it's the 3rd annual or 4th annual, something like that. It's going to be a lot of fun. So a bunch of the staff is going to be making it, and maybe you'll have a special guest or two. We don't know yet. We're going to try to figure it out. Time always tends to run out because I think the last couple years we've been going for 3 hours, Sam, and it was a drunken 3 hours.
Yeah, some people maybe had to tap out early and maybe should have tapped out earlier than they did.
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was maybe the most obscene Christmas party I've ever been to, but it's a good time.
It's definitely a good time. Yeah, we have a great time. We're gonna have games. that y'all can play with us because we do a lot of the Jackbox stuff. We're gonna have some cool votes. We're gonna have some cool little mini presentations. Cool little we're gonna have giveaways and contests throughout. It'll be a fun time. Fun time indeed. And that'll be on Friday. I think I have to figure out was it 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock? I don't remember anymore. We'll get that confirmation up at some point tonight or tomorrow morning. But Friday, be ready. It shall be a good time.
It might be a little late because I got to get the kid to bed, but
sure thing. We'll do all the fun stuff before you show up.
Yeah, exactly. And then we could just get real heartfelt and kind of awkward because I'll be the only one not drunk.
With that said, the drinking began at the annual SideQuesting Game Award Drink Along, where we went and enjoyed ourselves, imbued. Boy, this looks like every aunt that I have. Where are you? Are you coming over for dinner? We had the Game Award Drink Along, and we watched some trailers and saw some news break. And Tyler, you have a little bit of a list of some of the things that we saw there.
Yeah, so I was not at the drink along. I was watching it by myself, like 20 or 30 minutes behind, because again, child. But actually kind of technically stole the idea from my wife because she took notes during the show. I didn't. We were both watching it together, But she took notes during the show, and then I was like, wait a second, I should have done that. And then I ended up rewatching. I rewatched like Giant Bomb's stream of it because I like to see their reactions to stuff. And then I took notes of the stuff that I was like, oh yeah, that was cool during that. So we'll hit the high points of that. If I forget anything that somebody is excited about, shout it out. I'll try to add it in there. But this was kind of everything that sort of piqued my interest, or I thought was like,
let's hop in.
Really neat. From the pre-show, we had Pragmata. We got a demo for Steam, and then consoles. It's going to come later. I haven't checked it out yet. I'm kind of holding out for the console demo to see how it runs on PS5 because that's probably where I'll get it. I think the game looks good though. I'm interested in it. I guess it's not a secret Mega Man game given what got revealed near the end of the show, but I'm into it.
I've played it just I think only once. Maybe more. I don't know, but I played it. The demo that's on Steam now is essentially what I played, and it's really cool. I am looking forward to it, and it's coming out to Switch too as well. So Capcom is going all in on the Switch now with games. So it's good to see.
Yeah, that's great to see that it'll be on Switch too. I'm curious to see how it'll run. I'm sure there'll be like a Digital Foundry video or something that'll kind of break it down compared to consoles, but it should be interesting. Definitely looking forward to it. I think the other big things from the pre-show was Audio Mech, which is essentially like Vampire Survivor Audio Surf. I thought I really liked Audio Surf back in the day. I'm not like a big music guy, but like put on a podcast or like a video game track or something, and do a track, or I guess in this case like shoot stuff. I thought it was pretty neat. It also has integration with streaming apps like Spotify, so that will be nice. So you don't have to have MP3s on your computer or whatever. I think the coolest thing, I think it was in the pre-show. I can't remember now, but because I didn't mark it. But Bradley the Badger looks really good. That looks like a funny game that's actually going to be funny. Essentially, it was it looks like kind of like a cartoony mascot platformer that does here we go. Here's a trailer of it does parodies of like different games. They had like a Bloodborne parody and like a Last of Us parody and stuff like that. Apparently Bradley will be played by Evan Peters. And then the weird gimmick is that like it's very much like game dev, like the games are like in the process of being made, because like it seems like your special abilities are like dev tools, like you can make yourself like bigger and smaller and into a ball and stuff. And they had that really great like little live action segment at the end. But I think this game looks neat. I like little platformers like this, and this looks like it'll be a good one, and I like the gimmick of it.
And this is by so David, I think it's Soliani, and let's see here, David Soliani and Christian Cantamessa. They founded Day for Night Studios, and when they both left Ubisoft, and they were David was the guy behind the Mario and Rabbids games. And the first game was a little bit smaller, and then the second Mario and Rabbids game had, I think the number was over 400 people were on that game working on
Oh,
that.
wow.
So it ballooned, and they want to go back smaller and have fun and a little bit more control and concise. And this is what happens. A cool game like this is what happens when you're allowed to just focus instead of getting bloated. You can't, the animation style looks great, has sort of that modern kind of sketch film animation stuff. But yeah, and then here we go. It's like he's in VR.
Evan Peters' feet.
And you can see his feet. But yeah, he's Bradley the Badger. But it looks really cool. This whole game looks great.
I'm really excited for that one. That'll be good to check out. That was also like a whole theme basically of the show of like, indies of like, oh hey, here's names that they broke off from their big studio and they're making their own. Because we'll be saying that a lot tonight. It's like, hey, here's this guy. He started his own studio and now their game is here. I'm really excited for this one. I think it's going to be fun. I haven't played Mario and Rabbids. I need to.
Oh, it's so good.
I think I got the first one on sale, but I haven't ever started it up.
I like that first one. Man, so that launched in 2017. I think at the time I liked it more than I liked Mario Odyssey.
Ooh. Okay.
It is a fantastic game. Great plot, great gameplay gimmick, wonderful like world design and puzzle design. And memorable.
Rabbids are just so minion coded. I can't.
They are.
It's hard for me to get around them.
They actually do work well in this game, though. So
okay, it did look like they looked well. They worked well from what I saw. But yes, more animal action platformer games for sure. I would love that.
Yeah.
And then I think once we got into the main show, Stupid Never Dies. This one caught my attention because the whole like song at the beginning was very much speaking to my millennial soul. This was like, yeah, this is the kind of crap I'd listen to in high school for sure. Let me see here. What studio did that one? Let's see. But it was one of those things where it was like, okay, the initial stuff, I could see why some people would be turned off by it, but it looks like a really good like action combat system, kind of Devil May Cry-ish. Oh yeah, it is former Capcom staff. That makes sense. Yeah. I'm looking forward to that one as well. I think that'll be fun. Like I said, it also kind of had weirdly like Lollipop Chainsaw vibes. I think it was like Zombie Boy, Cute Girl, that kind of like sort of back and forth. I was getting kind of Lollipop Chainsaw vibes from that as well. So I think that'll be cool. Let me see here. What do we have next? This was kind of, I think, the big reveal from the show, and the big one that I guess like Disney and everybody there had for the show was Star Wars: Fate of the Old Republic. Finally getting a new Old Republic game. I've actually never played either of the KOTORs. But I'm excited to check out this one. It's one of those things where it's like that's an era of Star Wars that I can definitely get behind because it's just so disconnected from everything else, like Old Republic stuff. But Casey Hudson is coming back for this, which will be good because he did KOTOR. Was it just KOTOR 1? Did he not touch
I think just KOTOR 1,
yeah. And then he was behind Mass Effect, so which I did see like some posts up somewhere that was like, yeah, he was also like, I think he directed Anthem. So no, little blight on his pedigree, but still I think he's gonna be back in his zone here.
Anthem has become one of those games that people have come back around on. So
okay. Yeah. I guess because they didn't take it down right away like they did Concord. I wish they left Concord up because I bet people would have come back around on it. But yep, it's going to be Star Wars. We don't know anything. It's just a big cinematic trailer. FOTOR will be a fun acronym to get used to saying. But I'm excited to check it out. I do have, I think, both KOTOR games. I don't know if those Switch ports are any good, but I have those.
That's where I have them as well.
Check those out.
Yeah, the only problem is the second KOTOR 2 doesn't have the mods that everybody wanted. Because there's a whole legal process that's kind of holding it back now. But yeah.
Okay, well, that's disappointing. But yeah, I'll at least play like KOTOR 1 maybe before this. I like Star Wars. I'm just not I'm not caught up, especially with like all the new stuff that they've done. I think I've only seen like the first of the sequel trilogy. No, maybe I did watch Last Jedi. I can't remember now, but I haven't like finished that, or I haven't watched like Mandalorian or all that stuff. But Old Republic, I don't think any of that stuff matters. It's just going back. I'm also not sure if KOTOR is canon now with like the whole Disney refresh of the canon. So this might be like a way to implement some of that stuff from KOTOR, or
If
maybe they'll just
JJ
be
was
like,
on, he would be able to tell us, but we don't know. We're not in deep like
JJ.
he is. Yeah, JJ, get over here. What's
Right?
interesting is sorry to cut you off. The
Very good.
like hours before the game awards, one of my buddies, he's notorious for whatever game that they're promoting. He's wearing the shirt of, and it's hidden, like buttoned up and stuff. And then when it gets announced, he unbuttons his shirt and he wears it around the whole time. And so I jokingly asked him, I'm like, first of all, have a great time out there. It's awesome. Sorry I couldn't be there this year. And I go, as an aside, what shirt are you wearing? LOL. And he replied back with KOTOR 3. I'm like, yeah, good one. KOTOR 4 and 5. And then this was announced. So
he was honest, essentially.
He was honest. Yep.
Because I wasn't sure if we were going to mention that on air, but like you had said something like, from Disney, and of course I got my hopes up for something that did not show up aside from a passing mention that I'll go over later. But yeah, no, that was their big thing was that. I'll check it out though. I don't have much of like winners of like, awards or like actual stuff, it's whatever. But I thought Jeff's opening speech was really sweet. Because I didn't realize that he lost his home in the LA fires. That was really sad to hear. And his dad as well.
Year,
that was just rough year for him. Really glad that he's kind of turned it around.
Geoff is I mentioned a little bit in the previous episodes and in the Discord and stuff, but Geoff he's got a mind like a steel trap, and he is very aware of what people say about him. He does read all the comments. He's the kind of guy that will obsess over not just not obsess negatively, but like he'll obsess over, okay, there's a lot of folks are saying this online. We should definitely take a look at, how to improve something. And he's actually very in tune. He's just the kingmaker.
Course correct.
Yeah, he definitely course. This is a great show. Overall, I thought that was a great game awards. But yeah, sorry,
nothing that I saw that was like really problematic or anything like that. Because I can't, the other shows and stuff of his have not been perfect, whether they be Game Awards or Summer Game Fest or whatever. But like Geoff is kind of like that friend that like is really easy to make fun of, but like you still really love him. So like I don't really have a problem with him. I think he does as great of a job as he can with like what is going on here. I guess the other big show part was the only award that I really pay attention to that much is best performance. I don't know why. I really like best
team.
Oh yeah, of course. Best strategy sim game.
Best strategy sim genres. Game. Yeah.
But best performance. I was really hoping that my boy Ben Starr would win. I love Ben Starr. I really do think he was cheated.
Friend of the show, Ben Starr.
Oh, fun! I didn't know he was a friend of the show. But I really wanted him to win for Clive back whenever he was nominated for his role as Clive. But he was great as Verso as well. But Jennifer English stole this one, and honestly, she deserved it. I thought her speech was really sweet. The fact that like Ben was sitting behind her, I saw his reaction to just like you could tell he didn't care if he won or not. He just wanted her to win, and that was great. Great speech from her. Another thing that Geoff has improved on is not trying to play people off during their speeches, which has been great to see. And she had a really good one, short and sweet. And of course, Expedition 33 just ran away from it. And like Stefan said in the chat, like the neurodivergent comment, I thought was really sweet, and I'm sure that that a lot of people appreciated it. But no, Expedition 33 deserved every award that they won.
You know what?
They did great.
The people that don't like it are the ones that are they tend to be the thumb on the nose gamer types. Who are like, well, it's not indie enough, or it's way overhyped, or whatever. It's like, no, it was a good game. It was a good game. It was a good game. It did everything it set out to do. It wasn't genre breaking. It wasn't like blowing stuff away, but it just executed well on everything. It told a great story, a great plot, and had very like people loved the combat style, and I think it was good. And I will defend it getting Game Awards anywhere because it is just everybody I've talked to that's played it, like really played it, and not just watched YouTube videos or read tweets about it, have loved it. So
And like I have complaints about it. It's not a perfect
Yeah,
game, but
no,
like I
yeah.
think it deserved every award
Yeah,
that it got.
it's no
Like,
Donkey Kong Bonanza.
yeah, exactly. um, but it definitely was the game of the year, and you
Yeah.
could tell like through the show, it was gonna win pretty much
Mhm.
everything, except for Player's Choice because those
Yeah.
gotcha crowd they push their games.
Mhm. Yep.
And I think this showed up around in this time. Divinity, the statue was Divinity. We were right, and they are
Yep.
just calling it Divinity. That trailer was graphic. that
Yeah, it was. I was
that
trying to
was
find it and have it ready, but yeah, it was
yeah, it was something else. It was definitely one of those where it's like I've seen people talk about, like, is it too graphic for a show like this? Because I mean, really, I don't know how much we
mhm.
care, but it's also like when my daughter's older, I would like her to watch this
Watch
if
the
she can
show,
stay
yeah.
up late enough. I don't want to send her away during a trailer like Divinity. Jesus, that was
I mean,
but
Donkey
Mhm.
Kong is a children's game and was up for, game of the year. So like,
Yeah.
yeah. And wait, did it win Best Family Game? What won Best Family Game? I can't
I think
remember.
I think Donkey Kong did win Best Family Game,
Yes,
something like that, yeah.
yes, yeah, because Doug Bowser came out. That's right. I remember Doug was there.
did
Um,
Doug Bowser? Oh no, I guess his retirement is not until January, right?
Yeah,
yeah, it
January
was Doug
1st.
Bowser that accepted for Donkey Kong. Also, whenever they were on that mini stage there, especially during the pre-show, what
Mm.
was everybody looking up at? Did you notice a lot of people just like looking up whenever they
There's
came to get their award?
there's probably a big screen. If I remember correctly, last year there was a big screen right there, so people will tend to
Okay.
look up, and there is like a whole state, like production mini stage. Sam, you'd have a blast at this, just all this kind of stuff. But there's like a whole separate. It almost looks like a like a sportscasting booth that's up
Okay.
there, and they got screens, they got a bunch of other stuff. So yeah, they look up, and it does throw some people off. Yeah,
Yeah, I would love to see what it looks like behind the scenes, but definitely on camera, some people were just like really throwing me, just looking straight up the whole time. I was
yeah.
like, okay. But let's see. Next game that I thought really caught my eye was Coven of the Chicken Foot. That is Bruce Straley's new game. I think I said his name right. The other half of Neil Druckmann before he left Naughty Dog. And thinking back, I think was probably the one that I liked about those games from Naughty Dog because Druckmann on his own is kind of not my speed, but like I love Uncharted 4 and the first Last of Us is great. But Coven of the Chicken Foot looks really cute. Definitely not what you'd expect from that pedigree. It's just a little old lady, chicken feet. I guess it's maybe kind of a platformer. I'm not really sure what the gameplay is going to be like, but I think it looks really fun. And like with his name behind it, I'm like, yeah, I'll definitely check it out. Um, Speaking of Neil Druckmann, he did crack me up with his comment about like not knowing which streaming service to thank because of the whole situation with
True.
like
Yeah.
HBO and Warner Brothers and Netflix. He was on the money there.
Yep. Yeah. No one knows right now.
Yep. Let's see. Ontos is the new game
Yeah.
from Frictional Games, I think. They did Soma. Looks pretty fun. Looks
Mhm.
like it's on a lunar hotel. I mean, it looks like it's gonna be a similar to Soma, which I never finished, but I enjoyed what I did play of it.
This is Kepler.
Um,
Kepler's sort of a
Kepler had
big,
a lot of stuff
yeah.
here.
They become a
Yeah,
bigger
Kepler, I
force.
think, is a publishing house, right? They don't,
Yeah.
because there's a lot of different
They
developers
do a
at
little
Kepler.
bit of, I think they do a little bit of dev, but yeah, they're mostly publishing house. Yeah.
Yeah,
But it
but
looks cool.
yeah, I'm really excited for this one. I think it'll be pretty sweet.
Mm.
Oh yeah, because it was kind of neat, kind of seeing the moon stuff with this hotel. Yes, I think it was giving me my Bioshock vibes
Oh,
for sure.
yeah. Yeah.
I was kind of half expecting it to be whatever Ken Levine is working on. Have they talked more about what he's doing? I have no idea what that is. I feel like they were going to do something with Twilight Zone with him for ages, and I don't
He's
know if that ever
working
happened.
on Judas. Is that?
Judas. Yeah.
That's okay.
Yeah.
That sounds right. Um, but yeah, no, this I love a good horror game.
Yep.
It is in space. One of the things that my wife
In
said that she was
space.
hoping for before the show started was a horror game not in space. And I think we could get some that was that later because they have been a lot of space horror games. But hey, I like space.
hmm
Um, let's see. Speaking of horror games not set in space, Resident Evil is a horror game not set in space, and the cat is
Yeah.
finally out of the bag. We've got Leon back yet again.
Leon Kennedy.
Leon S. Kennedy. It's kind of been an open secret. I think everybody's been expecting Leon to be in this for ages, and he's here. And it seems like he plays very similarly to Resident Evil 4. This time he's got the chainsaw. I think I saw an interview after the show that said that they want like the switch between Grace and Leon to be like coming out of like a hot sauna into a cold bath or something like that. Or um, but no, I think that's cool. I've been trying to play through all the Resident Evil games,
Yeah.
maybe trying to get done before Requiem. I'm on Code Veronica right now. So slowly working my way through. I don't know if I'll make it in time for Requiem. That's into February, but
I need to
I'm
hop back
excited for
in.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be fun because I've played a lot of Resident Evil games. I'm usually very strict about playing games in order, and Resident Evil has been like that weird exception to the rule where I've
really? Okay.
played so many weird like different games. And I've never finished Original 4. And I've owned it on like 3 or 4 different consoles. But I think maybe I'll make it if I stick to it and don't get distracted by too much stuff. But,
I would love to see a research paper on like what Resident Evil 4, the original release of that game, did to that series, and like the resurgence of that title numerous times throughout their like rebuilding of that brand over the years. And like, it is that is very definitive what Resident Evil is, but also now with what the Village and was Village 7 or whichever one was,
Village was 8.
The
Village
two
8.
like first
7
person,
is just 7. Yeah.
Like those
Biohazard.
ones, like,
they tried to
kind
combine
of,
the names.
like kind of like rebooted it into again this visceral horror like sort of thing, and now they're going back to almost what like Resident Evil 6 tried to do, which was this creepy horror game mixed with I'm a bro and can chainsaw and kick you halfway across the room. And it's just so I would love to see like the charts and graphs and stuff where they're like, this idea sucks, and now they've circled back and they're like, guys, I've got a great idea. And it's like circled back to the chart where 6 was. It's Resident Evil. It's just a wild series.
I have seen a lot of people compare it to 6 with the idea of like they wanted their cake and eat it too, with like action and horror. I think this will probably work better than 6. That's not exactly hard because even Leon was supposed to be the horror campaign in 6, and you fought a mutant T-Rex at the end. So, but yeah, no, you're right. Like the whole legacy of Resident Evil and the way that it has influenced horror games in general. Because like I mean, Over the Shoulder is still the primary camera view we get for a lot of these. Once you get like it's not first person, and now Resident Evil does first person as well. So I do like that you'll be able to choose between first person and third person in Requiem, because I prefer third person. Although I do wonder if we'll have a first person Leon view, or if Leon is going to be third only. I think Dolly is muted, or I've stopped hearing.
Your mic.
Nope. No, I said I have no idea. It's just gonna be over the shoulder. Sorry, I muted myself because I was crunching on these tortillas.
Oh, yummy. We have not played Revelations 1, to answer my wife's question in the chat. We have played Revelations 2, because the co-op is fun in that one, and in 5, 6, I think she got bored with. But yeah, no, I'm excited for any Resident Evil that I can get my hands on. And I'm also excited to get my hands on any version of Control. We got the new Control, which is not Control 2, it is Control Resonant. And the big surprise for me was that you're not playing as Jesse. You're playing as her brother, Dylan. And it's melee combat, which I think is a really good twist for them, because I like all of Remedy's games. Like I love Control. I love Alan Wake 1 and 2. I even like Quantum Break, okay, but
you're a huge fan of FBC Firebreak.
Yeah, oh yeah. I have that one for free, I think, from PlayStation Plus, and I've not even downloaded it. But no, I do think it'll, because like their gunplay is like, it's fine, I guess, but I feel like it has always been a weak point. That's something people have complained about with like Alan Wake 1 and Quantum Break and stuff like that. But it does seem like everything is getting outside of the oldest house this time, and we're going to be in weird New York, whatever that is supposed to be. So I'm really interested to see what happens because the oldest house was such a good location in the
Right.
first Control, and I have been wondering. So like, you can't stay in there for the second game, really. So like, I kind of had a feeling they would kind of like have things get out, and I'm just like, what does that look like? Because it seems like it's everything. Because yeah, you can see you've got like people floating with the hiss and the blood on the stairs of the oldest house and stuff like that. But a melee combat I think will be a good way to go. Dylan looks like he's got some moves there. And kind of interested to hear more about him because Control story was I liked it and I liked finding all the notes and everything and kind of like
Right.
building that world. But it did feel weird not kind of hearing their backstory from like ordinary secondhand. Um, I would have liked a game actually maybe set in ordinary with like child Jesse and child Dylan, maybe like very it inspired. I know that Sam Lake does like his Stephen King references and stuff like that. And I think he was there because I saw pictures of him with Jennifer English on Instagram as well. So good to see him back at the Game Awards. But hopefully this has some other musical segment in it because I definitely would love to see them perform something at a Game Awards in the future whenever this is out. Did they give a date for this or a year? Is this 2027? I can't remember.
It was next
2020
year.
or 2026,
Yeah.
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 Yep.
Yep.
I jumped forward a year, and whenever I said 2027, I thought that was next year. I don't know what I'm thinking of. Um, but yeah, that looks good. The another studio of hey, this guy's really big and broke off and made his own studio. Nagoshi from RGG
Mm.
Studios now has his own studio, and he's doing Yakuza. It looks like basically
Yup.
Yakuza Gang of Dragon.
Even got dragon in the name.
Yeah, even in the name. Let me see here. Who's the because it has a big actor in it, but I cannot remember his name at the moment. Ma Dong Seok. I think he's a
Hmm.
Korean actor. Trailer was in English, and I think it was actually because I think he's been in like English films and stuff. So I'm wondering if English is going to be like the primary language for this one because they've been doing really good about dubs in the Yakuza and Like a Dragon games, but I mean they're still primarily Japanese first. But it does feel like this one's going to be pushing that English dub. But but this one looks kind of more gritty, I guess.
Hmm.
Yakuza is it's a violent series and it's got its stuff. It's got literal Japanese porn actresses all over the place in those games. Um, but it always has like a veneer of silliness to it. Like Kiryu is like the most wholesome man ever, despite also being one of the most powerful like men ever. So like he's taking like pocket circuit racing and stuff all that seriously, and Ichiban as well. I haven't gotten to his games yet. I'm only on 5,
Hmm.
but he also is like very similar and like seems very power friendship, which I'm
Hmm.
very excited to get to. But this seems very much like gritty, grounded, violent. It starts off with like him getting a knife to the gut and like gripping it and cutting into his hands. Um, but it's I think it'll be good. I'm down for more of those games.
Yeah.
The other thing that I've noticed, people have noticed, is that the sign, because we see the sign in the archway. It is actually the real life location, Kabukicho, rather than the fake Kamurocho from
Hmm.
Like a Dragon, which makes sense. I'm sure that's probably just like RGG's thing, but
Right.
I don't know what the legality is on like using a real location versus a fictionalized one, because I know there's stuff like that with like American stuff, like they had to take what was it, the Empire State Building out of Spider-Man. They took something out of Spider-Man because they didn't have the rights to it anymore. I don't remember what building it was. But I don't know if there's something similar with that with like Japanese stuff. So I don't know if they have got permission to use the real location,
Hmm.
Chrysler Building, I think. Yeah. Um, so or if it's just Sega wanted to do something different back then and they've stuck to it. So, but I'm interested in that. Um, I think it'll be I that was probably one of the games I was most looking forward to because I do love those Yakuza games. Uh, this was kind of weird, and I do kind of wish I was like on for the actual show for this one. The whole Street Fighter cast came out, and like this
Yeah.
was the moment where we had like a
It was
bunch of
great.
celebrities on stage. Just they were on, so like they got high or were drinking backstage, and they had way too good of a time on stage. That was cracking me up. There's one of those every year. The Mortal Kombat joke got me too. I actually was like, wait, are they serious? Are they bringing out the Mortal Kombat cast just for fun? But I'm not a big Street Fighter guy, and I do wish that one of the fighting game boys was on here to kind of talk me
Listen, I
through
am
some of
a
this.
fighting game boy, but I'm not as hardcore as the Jage is. But
Yeah. I was gonna
I
say
mean, I
JJ and Zach seem to be
yeah.
towering over you on that.
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure. Now I am excited about this one because it is leaning all into the video gaminess, and we kind of need
Yeah.
that. The last couple Street Fighter games, I think there was the Chun-Li, and then there was something else that was all the stuff that kind of came after the Jean-Claude Van Damme one. Tried to be too realistic and just didn't work out. And so they're just saying, let's just be goofy. Let's just go nuts, and even have bad wigs and cast people just because we want to cast them. And there ain't nothing wrong with that. And yeah, I'm all for it. Like they got like painted on, abs for Zangief. So perfect. But the joke was also great, the Mortal Kombat thing. And they were very lubed up prior to appearing on stage, because I later that night, one of the cast members posted like the video of, or a few of them did maybe, of the lead up to the Game Awards, and they're all getting into they're getting into a limousine, a bunch of them, and Jason Momoa is like hanging out the car window screaming about Street Fighter, and they're all having a blast in there, and they're just popping bottles and stuff. So yeah, they were ready to go.
That's one of those things that I hope sticks around with the Game Awards, is just like getting a celebrity that is just like completely like hammered just on stage.
Give me a Joseph Ferris every year.
Yes, yeah. If not Joseph Ferris, I do hate that Split Fiction didn't win anything, because I wanted him on stage for something.
Yeah,
but
he did get the last laugh though, because the Oscars are going strictly to streaming in 2029. So Jason Ferris does win.
There you go. But I did appreciate the primer on like Tekken that you gave Stefan the other week. I did that as well.
From what I remember, yeah.
But it does seem like Street Fighter is kind of the goofier one.
It is. Yeah.
I don't really know a lot about like the story of any of the big fighting games. Actually, I'm always kind of shocked that they have a story. But I don't know. It'll be cool. Maybe I'll watch it on streaming if like somebody is like really begging for my opinion from having never played a Street Fighter game.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It was fun. It was fun to see them up on stage and being weird.
And just being weird. Yep.
Yeah, exactly. I also found the Girls Make Games segment sweet. I guess.
Oh yeah, that was great.
I have a daughter now. I really want her to kind of like take inspiration from that. And it's good to like see them be able to give that attention.
Been around for a long time. My daughter did it a little bit, and it was great. She just real briefly early on when it was first starting, and it's great to see kind of where it's gotten to right now, 10 plus years later. So I think it's cool.
Yeah. Felicia Day cracked me up. I haven't seen her in anything forever, so it was nice to see her again. And her calling the statue thick really got me.
Yeah,
that was probably one of the best bits of the whole night. Because I was like, wait, how heavy is it? Because she was genuinely struggling to hold it with one hand and get off stage. But yeah, no, both girls that were up there for the Girls Makes Games stuff, they were doing great. Really, really excited for them, hoping that their games do well.
The typical starting age is 6-7.
Ooh, okay. Yes, I will keep that in mind.
No, I was like, I had to make that joke because my daughter was staring at me. I'm like,
okay. Okay. That's right. The 6-7 joke is 69 is not the funny number anymore. What is going on?
Not anymore.
But Tomb Raider. Tomb Raider was the big one.
Tomb Raiders.
Tomb Raiders, yes, because Legacy of Atlantis leaked like beforehand. And I think we all knew that was going to be it, and it was obviously going to be like a remake, a second remake of Tomb Raider 1, which Is this one of the first times we've gotten a second remake of a game?
It's one of I think there was one or two other games that have done it, but yeah, this is actually it's a second full remake. But remember, there
Yeah.
have been like remasters and like updates and all that kind of stuff.
Because they did the remasters recently of 1 through
Yeah,
3
which
and then 4
sorry,
through
I
6.
did not like them. They're hard to control. They don't age well. I know we got it just for collecting, the history, but get this to me. It's like, okay, we're gonna give you a proper remake of that first game with modern controls and modern quality of life stuff. And it looks great. Man, I'm more excited about this than the second game.
Yes, yeah. The second game was Tomb Raider Catalyst, which is gonna their whole goal has been to try to combine all of the timelines, because you've got essentially like the original timeline and then like the Legend timeline and then the Survivor prequel, and they're trying to just basically mush them all together. So Catalyst is supposed to take place after Underworld, which is
Right.
I guess the latest game in the timeline now. Whereas like the Tomb Raider 1 remake is supposed to be after Shadow of the Tomb Raider and the Netflix series, and kind of like basically just be like Laura admitting like, hey, I actually like this stuff, so I'm just gonna
Yeah.
get into it. I'll give this one a shot. And you were right, the older games they're of their time. I do
Yeah.
appreciate that the remasters have like not tank controls. I did play Tomb Raider 1 and 2 in that collection and enjoyed them for what they were. I did end up having to use the photo mode to literally just fly around and figure out where I was supposed to go, because they are not really great at signposting what the critical path is in those games. And combat is absolutely awful in those. Anytime a
Sure.
man shows up in Tomb Raider 2, I'm like, please, can we stop this? But I would like to work through them all and check out Catalyst and actually know what the story is supposed to be, and what this whole like unified timeline is supposed to be. Because my favorite is still like Tomb Raider 2013, the first of the Survivor trilogy. I think that game is amazing, and kind of like what I want the other Tomb Raider games to be, because I really like Uncharted. But it seems like I think that the remake, Legacy of Atlantis, I think it's going to be a good combination of like that and like the old style. I think it'll be a really good kind of mix of everything, and then hopefully Catalyst can pick that up and run with it and not fall on its face. But the fact that they're confident enough to do these both at once is good, and it's good to see Lara Croft back. She's one of the originals, and she's hot for
OGs.
those that care about that.
Stefan.
Thank God for that. If they are continuing the timeline and they're going to make her older, it'll be good to see that crowd freak out as she realistically ages. But
Yeah.
but yeah, those will be good. This was probably my favorite like indie showing of the show. Orbitals is a
That looks
co-op.
great.
Yeah, is a co-op kind of like in the vein of like Split Fiction or It Takes Two or something, which I'm glad we're getting more of those.
Sam
now.
and
That's
JJ
great.
and I were losing it when this was.
This might have been the biggest announcement of the show for me. Honestly.
Yeah.
And the fact that the Switch 2 is the lead title, like or the lead like platform,
It's
it
exclusive
seems,
so
like,
far. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
And
it's
Kepler as well.
it seems like to me it's one of those that would be primed for the game share feature that they have too, the like local like streaming thing. I've been playing a lot of what is it called, the Zelda Age of Calamity, whatever the new Hyrule Warriors, that's the series, whatever the new Hyrule Warriors is on that, and playing that with the streaming where the second player just plays on an original Switch, and like has their own screen and stuff like that. Like, seems like this would be great for this type of game. And it also is the sort of video game that I'm looking for right now, which is that maybe one player is the one that has to do like all the really hard stuff, while the second, is there along for the ride and also participating, but not being tasked as hard as maybe the first quote unquote gamer is. So
it'd be cool if they had separate difficulty levels for the different players, so you can maybe kind of like cater that as you wish. Because we've been playing all of like Joseph Harris's like co-op games, because I haven't played Split Fiction yet. but we share an Amazon account. I know I'm getting it for Christmas. So we finished A Way Out again the other day, and we're going to finally finish. Hopefully, It Takes Two. Start it soon, and then get to it. Split Fiction, but yeah, you're right that there's not like a difficulty setting for those, so it can be really hard if one of them is like not super good at platforming or shooting or whatever. So hopefully they do have some kind of like difficulty mode. And I know that I think at least Split Fiction and It Takes Two have like a Game Pass mode sort of thing where it's like you can download like a client that just lets you join somebody's game that actually owns it, so they don't have to buy it. Hopefully Orbitals will have something like that as well. But the art style is absolutely selling it. Like I love this like 80s 90s style of art. I need to get back to it, but actually around this time last year I was watching Mobile Suit Gundam and then Zeta Gundam, and like this looks just like Zeta Gundam, and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm really into this. Yes, my wife is good at platforming and shooting. But yeah, no, this is it. This is the one that I think I was most excited for from, and this is probably going to be one where if they send us a code, we're going to be fighting over it.
I think so.
Yeah, we're all going to be laying down our cards on the table of like, I want this, I want this. Kepler sent us multiple codes because we'll all talk about it. I'll play with my wife. I'll do it online with one of you guys. I don't care. Let's see. Oh yeah. In my notes, I literally just have now. This is pod racing.
Now this is pod racing, yeah.
Because they were like racing game or whatever. I don't care about racing games, whatever. This is gonna be my pee break. I'm gonna get up and go to the bathroom. My feet hit the ground on the couch from the couch. I saw like the Star Wars, like I could tell it was like Star Wars, like wait a second, and I slid back into my seat, and I'm like, now this is pod racing, isn't it? And again, not the biggest Star Wars guy. I actually do enjoy Episode 1 probably more than I should, but the pod racing scene is really great, and this looks like more than just pod racing. This is like all kinds of like, this is just Star Wars racing, the game. This is exactly what we need for that series, is to have something like this that's not Jedi and lightsabers and all that stuff. It's just let's just have some fun racing. I also think what's his face from the movie shows up at the end, like a little older and stuff. I cannot remember his name. Again,
Sebulba,
why are you not here? Sebulba.
Yeah, I think it was Taylor and I on the stream that we were talking about, and actually before this got announced, because I think they gave Mario Kart like the Family Award or Best Racing Game or whatever. That there like really isn't like a lot of arcade racing games on the market anymore. You get like sim racers or sim arcade racers, where you're like Forza sit and stuff like that. Or you get like kart racers that are just games that are trying to emulate Mario Kart to some level of success or failure, right?
And you've got famous characters that can like sell a game like that, like Sonic.
And I think Sonic Racing is good. Like I'm not diminishing like the value of Sonic Racing. Like I think it's probably the best competitor against a Mario Kart in that genre. But
what I played of it was really good.
Like there's not a lot of like arcade racers where you're trying to figure out like the unique racing style of that racer. The closest thing that I can even think of off the top of my head is those Fast Racing Nero games. That kind of have their own system there. The most recent one on Switch 2 has that like switching like shield stances to get different boosts and stuff like that. And so there really isn't a market for that. And I hope that this isn't going to be like, hold a button to drift around the corner and get a boost out of it, right? Like I hope it has like some form of unique like pod racing style to it that actually makes it something that's worth more than like a couple of rounds to do a cups here and there.
And it looks like this is again a new studio made up of Burnout and Need for Speed veterans. So I do think I bet it would feel a lot like a Burnout, and I'm hoping it feels a lot like a Burnout, because that would be probably ideal for this kind of game, just kind of crashing and knocking people off of the course and taking them out. So again, not a big Star Wars guy, but or really even a big racing guy, unless it's like Mario Kart or something or Sonic. I think I'm also getting that Sonic racing cross worlds, but I'll check this one out too. This looks like it'll probably be
Yeah.
fun. Let's see. I do love that the Muppets have been showing up pretty much
Yeah.
to every
It's becoming a
Game
bit.
Awards.
It's
It
becoming
is,
a
and
bit, and I love it.
I made a joke in the Discord about imagine being a guy that like an editor for the Muppet fan wiki, like the fandom wiki, and having to watch the Game Awards every year to write the new entry for the Muppets to show up at the Game Awards. And there is a Game Awards page on the
Oh, geez.
Muppet wiki. So that is absolutely a thing that happens. And this year it was Miss Piggy. Miss Piggy implying that she is sleeping with Geoff and getting upset that Rolf the dog is not there to help her practice for her bit. Rolf finally gets there. They do a little impromptu ditty. Kingdom Hearts was mentioned in it. I got a little excited. Other than that, I like the Muppets. This bit needs to continue. I just don't know where we go after we get Kermit. Like, what year do we finally get Kermit on there? Let's see. But I think that the last thing that I have in my notes, and there's obviously a lot of other stuff that we can talk about, but new Mega Man game finally
Yeah.
here. We got Mega Man Dual Override, which I think is essentially Mega Man 12. There was even like a 12 like on the floor or the door or something before it opened and revealed Mega Man. Full orchestra playing the theme because it clicked right before I saw Mega Man because I was like da 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 da. I was like, wait a second, what is that? What is that? Mega Man. Um, I'm not the biggest Mega Man guy. I actually really, if I had to pick a favorite Mega Man version, it'd be Battle Network. I love Battle Network. Those are really good. If it was a revival of that series, I would be popping off like crazy. But this looks like it's going to be essentially Mega Man 12. It's a new 2D action platformer. It's playing it safe,
Yeah.
which is kind of
Yeah.
surprising, but I think that's what people want. I don't know. Where's JJ? I need a Mega Man
Where
fan
did
to
it?
tell me what the Mega
No,
Man fans
I'm
want.
like I'm I'm fine with this. You know, we needed Mega
Yeah.
Man back. I didn't want to go back to the 8-bit. Kind of done with it.
Yeah.
Mega Man 11 was okay. It was a fine game. I must have bought it on the Wii U or somewhere
Oh.
else because I just looked. I'm like, I don't have it on the Switch. I swear I thought I had it on the Switch. Then I realized I probably bought a physical copy on the Switch more than likely. But it's only like $4 right now. But anyways, it looks fine. It's Mega Man. Let's go. I mean,
Yeah.
more Mega Man is good.
I think I own basically every Legacy collection that they've come out with in some form, except for like the ZX one.
Mhm.
And I should sit down and just like maybe try to like get into Mega Man like that because I like a good platformer. I've liked a little bit of some Mega Mans that I've played, but really excited for Star Force because I like those RPGs.
Mhm.
But yeah, it's cool. Like I was kind of almost expecting like a 3D action game, like maybe like a Legends successor because I know Legends is supposed to be 3D. But I guess they're never opening that door again, despite how much people want it. But that was all in my notes. But
Okay.
I do want to talk about the ending stinger high guard. I
Yeah.
wasn't sure how everybody felt about that because
Yeah,
that
it
was
wasn't
a weird one.
not anything that I'm going to be personally excited about. To be honest, it's like I don't know. We've these games are everywhere, and unfortunately, it's like I got it. It's going to be Overwatch-ish, but we have like it's such a bad. It's such a weird time where mentioning that a game is going to be an online focused thing is like it's sorry, it's no go for me, but it's gotta be tough. Like it's just a crowded market right now.
I feel bad because like Jeff's like lead into it was like, we usually give this spot to like, a big game that's gonna like, from an established franchise or developer that's gonna make people pop off. And as he's like, oh yeah, we're gonna give this to like a smaller game studio that needs that we think needs it, and ex Titanfall devs and all that
Mhm.
stuff, and like that's great, but the actual game just didn't look that great. I mean, it's probably a fine one of those games, but I know that people are
Yeah.
tired of them. And it did seem like a weird. I guess that was maybe Jeff's big misstep of this show, was deciding that that should be the one last thing. And I don't know if
Yeah.
that was
Yeah.
they paid for it or if Jeff really thought he was doing them a favor. I think it backfired if he did.
So typically the first and the last, and there's a few other in there too, but the first few, there's certain games that Jeff is personally trying to show off because he's really excited about something,
Yeah.
and so Jeff has an excitement for this, but it's not, like I said, they didn't pay for this, but at least I doubt they paid for it, but it just
Yeah.
doesn't feel like an ending stinger thing like the Mega Man one. You could have ended with Mega Man. Everyone would have been like,
Yeah,
all
Mega
right,
Man would
cool,
be good.
perfect, that's good, good
Like
deal.
half the things I mentioned in this list would have been good. If they didn't talk about Tomb
Yeah,
Raider beforehand,
Bradley
they
the
could have done
Badger,
Tomb
yeah.
Raider. That would have been good.
They could have done the
Um,
first, like the remake, and then showed Catalyst or vice versa. But yeah, I think a brand new property from, I don't want to say they're like relatively unknowns or anything, because they're not, because they are industry veterans, people that we know about. But it just it's a brand new property, and there's like no real and plus it's like releasing really soon, right? Wasn't it like
yeah, it's like
something like
January, I
that?
think.
January or
Yeah,
something? So yeah.
it's like 5 or 6 weeks,
Um,
I think. So
yeah.
it it was a weird choice, and like I feel bad because I think it is. I think the plan is backfired. I think people are like gonna be very against this game now because of its spot as like the ending stinger that didn't make sense, and I I don't want to say it's going to end up like Concord, but it might end up like Concord. It might be around for a
Mhm.
couple weeks and go away.
Yeah.
Um, and
Or it could
I
be
feel
like,
bad.
or it could be like, was it Helldivers 2, where people didn't
Yeah,
know and all of a sudden became popular.
maybe it'll pop off. I don't know. I think it's supposed to be free to play. That will help.
Yeah.
But I don't want to hope that it will fail. Like I don't want anybody to like go out of business or lose their
Yeah.
job or like all that stuff. But it just wasn't a big pop off moment that I think
Yeah.
we wanted it to be. But at least that was
Okay.
outshined by
Yeah.
Expedition 33 winning
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
Congrats to Sandfall for
Yeah.
all of that because they absolutely deserved it. Love their outfits. Love that they just went whole hog with it and just
Yeah. They were
went out there with the
celebratory.
mime
The
outfits. They were great.
French president congratulated them, so it's good. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like I said, that was all that
Yeah.
caught my interest really, and I skipped over a lot. There was definitely a
Mhm.
lot in the middle bit that I was like, I
Yeah.
don't
Yeah.
care. But
Feel free to scroll on to sidequesting.com for some of the other announcements that were in there if you'd like.
yeah, sorry, I'm not into feudal Japan Soulsborne games because that's not my theme.
What?
The only thing I want to mention that you didn't was just so I say the right name, Saros, the Housemark game.
Yeah,
Just because
Yeah.
Housemark
True.
like has really grown from being like I think they were originally an independent indie developer
Mhm.
that like they just kind of signed their wagon up to Sony and made Resogun, which was the game that first really stuck out to me about them for like a launch title of the PS4, and really was the first game I remember turning on the PS4 and being like, this is next gen when that system came out. And they've had like a banger per platform
Mm.
like since then. I mean, Resogun was on the Vita too and was amazing
okay,
there, but like Matterfall and Alienation, Next Mechana, and then obviously Returnal at the launch
yeah,
of the PS5. Like Housemark makes really good games, and to watch that go from like we make like side-scrolling indie games to we are making like Sony's big title that's coming out
Yeah.
next.
yeah,
Like please enjoy. It has been kind of incredible. So
yeah.
just
I
wanted
need
to
to check
mention
out
that.
Returnal because it came with my PS5. It was back whenever PS5s were like really hard to get, and I got a like GameStop bundle that came with Returnal and like MLB The Show. I was like, whatever, I'm getting
Mm.
a PS5. I don't care about this. I did pop in Returnal and like look at it for a little bit, but I should check it out. And Saros does look pretty cool. It definitely looks like another one of those games. It's just they've been at a lot of these shows, and it's coming out pretty soon. Isn't it like April? I can't
Yeah, they just delayed it again. Yes, into like
yeah.
Coming in 2026. They might have done an announcement of the date.
I think that was their
but I
big
don't
thing
know.
was like it's a date. I think there was a date. I don't remember, but
yeah, people are mentioning in the chat Super Stardust and Super Stardust HD. Then too, like great, incredible game on the PSP. Good stuff.
Good stuff.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that was the other thing that Expedition 33 lost to besides Player's Choice was sound design. I think Battlefield 6 won that. Kind of surprised that they won that, but I'm not a big Battlefield guy, but it sounds like they do have really great audio design for that game. Kind of sad that Silent Hill F didn't win anything. That's probably going to be one of my games of the year if we do a discussion on that stuff. But they did great on all that. Really love Silent.
My only problem with Battlefield winning sound design is that you can't hear any of it over the characters yelling "fuck" in the game every 30 seconds, and then people getting banned in chat for yelling it or typing it. So that game, man, it needs like a cursing filter. If we were still like these where you got like a rated R movie or like above an R for saying the F word twice in a film, I think would get a rated R rating in 30 seconds for being turned on.
Well, let's move on to some games because we have been playing some games. Great job leading the Game Awards conversation.
I feel bad that I skipped so much stuff, but that was already an hour.
There's too much stuff. It's great.
It's a 3-hour show, and we want to not make our show 3 hours.
Yeah, we will not make our show 3 hours. In fact, we're gonna probably I'm gonna try to make my game chat very quick, but I want to start with Sam. Sam, you've been playing a game that has sort of this new life, new release.
Yes. So I got a code to check out Parking Garage Rally Circuit DX, which is a former expansion turned into director's cut version of the incredible Parking Garage Rally Circuit. Both spoken at length of the great ska soundtrack this game has, the great gameplay, trials, HDS score, or fastest time tracking, local multiplayer, online multiplayer, original banger, one of the best games of the year. It came out. We talked about it at our Sevens live show at PAX East. If I haven't convinced you enough to play this game, you certainly need to play the DX version. It adds double the amount of tracks that were in the original version with the European expansion, based off of famous parking garages around Europe. So look out for all of those in your favorite country in Europe. And specifically, I also got a code to check this game out on a brand new platform called Wave Dash.
What?
And Wave Dash is
Is this a Melee
sort of
thing?
like
Is this Smash Bros. Melee?
Well, so that's what I thought at first too. I was like, that's the only thing that I've heard of Wave Dash. Maybe there was something with some jet ski stuff that I don't understand or whatever. But Wave Dash, and let me see if I can find the direct quote. Let's see here. Is a first of its kind marketplace bringing console quality games to the open web. Gameplay launches directly in the browser within seconds. No client download, no special hardware required, and a shared link becomes a lobby so friends can join a race instantly. Unlike cloud streaming, Wave Dash runs natively in your browser, tapping into the full power of your machine and modern technologies to deliver responsive input and smooth frame rates. As we've talked about, and you can see in this gameplay, like this is a trials, fastest time on track, sort of gameplay loop. To get the most out of those games, you need super responsive controls and you need high frame rates to see what you're doing and to react as quick as possible. From playing this game in the web browser, I'll be honest with you, I tried to essentially play the same, because they have the courses from the first game in here too. I played the same tracks both locally and on the web browser, and I'm gonna be honest with you, I know there's a difference because I put them in front of me, but in terms of like lap times and stuff, I was no different on either version of the game. So, I think response time is as close to real time as they're advertising. I'm not Digital Foundry. I don't have tools to go out there and tell you. I also can tell you that I have gigabit internet both up and down. So there's that. The other thing is, as you're also seeing from Parking Garage Rally, it is meant to emulate a Sega Saturn at best. So it's not exactly the most demanding game in the world in terms of graphics. So I can't necessarily speak towards how much like sort of system power the web browser is utilizing and how much system power the web browser is asking from your actual local machine. The other thing is, it's on my home computer, so I've got a 1080 Ti and an i7 in this thing. So it would be fine to run this game at full specs anyway. So I don't know necessarily that, how much of it was my computer and how much is it Chrome figuring this out, right? So very interesting. I haven't had a chance yet to experience the multiplayer, but allegedly, since I own this game, I can send somebody a link to it while I'm playing it, and they can just attach to the multiplayer and they can start playing like split screen second player with me. So if that ends up working, that would be a great way to play some of these games, including something like a Parking Garage Rally Circuit, and would suggest that only one friend maybe needs to purchase the game. And then a bunch of people can play along. So I'm going to get some testing back on that. So tune back in for a update on Wave Dash. And I believe as of right now, this is the only game that's available for Wave Dash. But there is some blurred out. If you go to wavedash.gg /store, you can see what is currently available on the system, which is just Parking Garage Rally Circuit DX. But there are some blurred out indie games that appear to have maybe some recognizable covers. So maybe it might suggest some other games that are coming to that platform here shortly. So I think you're going to see at least a few of these, maybe not so graphically intensive, and maybe some cheaper like multiplayer experiences do this as a way to sort of expand their user base. And also, I don't know, since it's just a web browser, is this a possibility? And this is something I want to check out. Like, can you load this on like an LG TV and just run it on that with a controller hooked up, and connect, you're playing it locally on just your LG TV, but then your friend comes and signs in with their cell phone and now they're playing the same game with you. So,
or your 3DS or Wii U.
Exactly, right? Like any web browser thing that can point to this. Like, does it have to be a Chromium based web browser and stuff like that? So there's some stuff I want to check out with that. Again, this is just like the embargo for this just went up on Monday. So I've really only gotten to spend some time with the sort of European tracks and just sort of experiencing some of that, and then experiencing just to kind of see with the sort of latency from the 1-to-1 with the original game and those tracks on Wave Dash. So so let's say review in progress on both. But since it is sort of a brand new platform, I believe, let me look here. It is $15 on Wave Dash, so it's also not a like huge commitment. But it is, technically a new platform, and a new, it's not any way. It doesn't seem that you can transfer that ownership to Steam or anything like that. So, buyer beware, I guess, a little bit on that regard. But in the same vein, hey, if you've got family members that don't want to mess around with downloading Steam, and going through that whole nonsense, but they have a tablet. They might be able to connect to this website, or we play Stardew Valley as a family, and my mom watches us play just from like I just put it a stream through Discord for her to watch. But like if she just had a web link that she could click on just to watch, like kind of interesting in that regard. So it like basically streaming, but only for your hyper local friends, or if you have the link, right, your private link to watch the stream, so or be part of the stream if there's space. So an interesting thing, especially in a world where I think that platforms to purchase new things off of seem to be shrinking, let's say, than growing. It seems that they think they have something here in the market that's different than what even an itch.io or somebody's offering. So
right.
Interesting to see where that'll go. And if this is obviously both a single player and a multiplayer game, are we going to see single player focus games that maybe have a audience connected version only through this or something? So it's going to be interesting.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Tyler, have you been playing anything?
Nothing super impressive or new. I did start Code Veronica, like I mentioned earlier, with my Resident Evil kind of like mini marathon.
Sure.
I've been enjoying it. Those older games are kind of like rough to get around with, like I'm not super great with tank controls, and like using the D-pad like hurts my thumb after a while. I don't know, I'm just old. And the 1 through 3 I did end up doing on the PS5 emulator, so I'd like rewind and stuff with that. So to help myself with Code Veronica, I did give myself the infinite green herb glitch that you can do. Essentially, like you don't get any items until like you get the handgun, and then you pick up a green herb, and like it bugs out, and like it never goes away when you use it. So that's been making the game really fun. I do actually really love the aesthetic of the game, where it's like the really like early like Dreamcast, like PS2 sort of looking environments. The pre-rendered stuff obviously looks better, but there's something nostalgic about the way that game looks, like that early PS2 stuff. I can't wait for indie games to start really aping on that, because even like with Sam's game, that's more like Saturn PS1 or something like that. But get up a little bit more, and I'll be like, yes, this is for me. This is for me. Other than that, my wife and I have been playing like Overcooked together. She absolutely adores those games.
Really wants everybody to know that you guys are playing Overcooked.
Yes, yeah. I figured I'd go ahead and mention that too. She makes me play at least a couple of levels every night. So it's fun. It's just she makes me play it so much that I get a little exhausted of it, but it's still a really good game. They're cute. That's it, pretty much.
I've been playing a couple of review games. One is older, and I don't say older, but early. Both of them kind of released earlier in the year. One is now on the Switch, which is where I'm playing it. Another one is I'm finally getting around to it after several updates. So playing a couple games. First game I want to talk about is also a car game, Sam, but not the kind of car game that you're thinking. As it's known, do I have any sitting over here? I do not have any over here. I'm a big Hot Wheels fan, and I love to just collect them because I love the design of them. Nothing I buy is like, I'm not gonna go out of my way to buy anything that's like super rare. I'm just buying stuff that I think is kind of cool, and they're like $1, well, $1.19 now, but you can every once in a while you can find them for under $1. But I'll be in the Kroger aisle paying for $85 eggs, and I'll see a couple packs of Hot Wheels that I maybe don't have, or some cars that I want. And so I love Hot Wheels. I have tons of them. I have hundreds and hundreds, let's just say, maybe into the thousands now. And a game came out. I think it's been in early access for a minute, but I think it finally fully released. That is sort of capitalizing on those of us that are into it. The game is called Supercar Collection Simulator.
Oh, okay.
This is an interesting game. So the whole purpose of this game is to you're essentially running a Hot Wheels or car collector shop type of thing, and you can buy. You start off small, buy a few cars, buy a few boxes to sell to other people. You can see there's deliveries coming in all the time. Then eventually your shop starts to grow. You can get new types of racks. You can get tables for people to actually play with the cars. There are card games that kind of go along with this that people can do. So you can play in these things against other folks. There's like a weird betting thing that goes on too. And then of course you can open the packs yourself if you want, or once a day across the street from your shop, you'll head over and there's like a mysterious shop that'll open up and sell you rare cars. And it's great because you'll think, okay, I wonder how many cars that you can see in this video they're showing. You can open up 5 cars at a time, and sometimes you'll get some really cool ones. Sometimes you'll get some duds. You go across the street and it'll say, yeah, here are how many cars there are available that you don't own. And it started off with like, there are 350 cars available across the street that you don't own. It's like, okay, I'll eventually pick these up. And then it gets to like 850 and then 1,000. It's up to like 11,000 cars that I don't own. I'm like, okay, this game that's a lot of freaking Hot Wheels cars. But yeah, really it's just, you are building your shop and you're collecting cars, and that's kind of it. And it's got a weird, almost clicker style, idle game to it. When you're first playing, you gotta manually stock everything. You gotta order stuff. You gotta put the stuff on the walls and on the shelves, and then you get behind the countertop, and you have to. People have to pay you, and you have to actually run run their credit card to take their cash. Eventually, you'll level up. I think at level 6, when you get to that point, you can hire somebody to come in and handle, the actual register work. That gives you the opportunity to focus more on stocking and, cleaning things up and painting the walls and making money elsewhere. And so it does take a minute or so to get to that point, but I think it took me like a couple hours maybe to get to level 6 before I finally was able to start doing that, because then the game starts to pick up. But it's not a super exciting game. It is just like a store management sim. It's just the store in question is a little toy car store. And that's really kind of all it is. If you have an itch to run a store, maybe especially during the holidays, this could be fine. I wasn't, offended by anything. It didn't excite me though. There are like little ratings that the customers can leave you if they like you or not. And you tend to start like with real low ratings and like the high 2s or low 3s, and you can work your way up or work your way down depending on how you start pricing things. But this is a job. Like there's definitely work that goes into this. So it's not like a typical idle or clicker game. There's definitely feels like there is a job aspect. Like the day ends at 9:00, like in the game, but you have to manually close the store. And if there's customers in there, you can't boot them out. You're like, oh, come on, guys. Yeah. I need you out of here. I'm done for the day. I've got to like restock. I can do a bunch of this stuff. So,
and then you go and then you find out they blew up the bathroom, and then you got to stay late cleaning that up.
But I mean, it's an interesting idea. It's, if you're into like shop sims, I mean, it's not offensive. It is what it is. As you get some cool looking cars, I guess. And that's kind of it. So it's exactly what the title says. It is a supercar collection simulator. Yeah, there you go.
I liked Pocket Circuit and Yakuza. Like, why not? I'll be Pocket Circuit
there you
Fighter.
Go. Second game I've been playing, indie game. This game blew my mind. From concept to delivery. It's only a couple hours long. I am a big sports nut, and soccer season is right on the corner with the World Cup. And game that released earlier this year on other platforms, Steam, I think PS5 as well, is now finally on the Switch and Switch 2. I'm playing on the Switch 2, and it is called Despelote, and Despelote is an incredibly interesting and fascinating concept. So it kind of takes place around, I think it was 2001 or so, when Ecuador was making their run to the World Cup. Like they had never been in the World Cup. They're a tiny country by comparison to like Brazil and Argentina and the US and England and all those other countries. So they're making their way into the World Cup and they're in qualifying processes. And so the whole country is glued to the the advancement of this team. So that's kind of where it starts. So that's the background kind of setting for this. How it delivers a story is so fascinating because it's really about the memories of being a kid around the time when all this stuff is happening. And when you're when you're a youngster and your parents' sports team is doing well, you don't really care. You just want to sit and kind of play with your toys or whatever. But then you're starting to get wrapped up more and more into it because everybody around you is talking about it. And in this game, everybody around you
you're
is
not a
talking
rebellious.
everybody's around you. Everybody around you is talking about the soccer team, the Ecuadorian soccer team. And the game will shift, like even the visual style has sort of this like Game Boy camera-ish kid drawing on a construction paper, colored construction paper aesthetic. And it's all meant to really let you know that you're a kid and you're kind of reliving these memories about when this is all happening. So the way it plays out is there are like 3 or 4 different types of segments. There's a segment where you're just kind of walking around in 3D and people are talking and you're hearing stuff happen. You'll walk past some NPCs that are just talking about the team. And in that same mode, you can kick a soccer ball, which you kind of see in this trailer, with the right stick. You're literally holding the stick and flicking it forward to kick. So you can kick a soccer ball. You can kick, there's a balloon at a party. You can kick like bottles and stuff. You're constantly kicking stuff because as you're getting more and more sucked into the vibe of your country making its way to the World Cup, you want to kick stuff because everybody's kicking stuff. So it's a mixes of conversation, that's 3D, and then it'll get into, so that's sort of like this physical aspect, and then there's also like this game within a game, because there are times where you'll just sit down like an interstitial and actually play a PlayStation 1 era, almost like I should say more like a Sega Genesis era style soccer game on a TV. And you kind of, again, you see it in these things. It threw me off at first because I thought when I first played the game, that's the very first thing you see. You're playing this soccer game, and I'm thinking, all right, I'm really bad at this soccer game. I'm like down 2-0. Oh, I'm down 3-0. This is horrible. This is really bad. And then all of a sudden it starts to like zoom out, and you're actually watching the TV, and then people are talking around you, and it doesn't matter what the score is. It doesn't matter if you're winning the game, losing the game. That's not what that experience is about. Like playing soccer in this doesn't matter as much as experiencing what soccer can mean to people. And again, seeing it through the eyes of a kid, I think is so awesome. Go around from like walking around an event, overhearing conversations, kicking a ball or something, and then you kind of end back at the house, playing the video game. It's just the way that the story is told in this, from this vantage point, like this first person vantage point of this kid Julian, just seeing how something like sport can affect people and make them happy or make them sad or make them excited or make them tense and nervous or get them to react to each other in different ways is just, it's so well created in this. And it's more of a visual novel than it is any type of sports game. You're not actually like trying to score points anywhere. It's just so well put together, and it's very easy to recommend. And this is the kind of game that I would, because it's only a couple hours long, I recommend everybody give it a shot. It is that well put together from what it's trying to do, the story it's trying to tell, and how it's trying to tell it. Like, very rarely will you come across a product that does exactly what it sets out to do and then actually deliver something better than what it had initially anticipated. And Despelote does that. It's just a fantastic experience, top to bottom. Like I said, a couple hours long, worth it for every little bit that it can bring. So yeah, loved it. Love. That's it. That's what we got. We have it's coming in an hour, almost an hour and a half here. It's pretty good, actually. Pretty good time from what we're typically used to when we think about it for a podcast. But I'm gonna go back to playing some games, getting ready for the SideQuesting Christmas party online. Make sure you guys, again, come on by. Whether you're participating like the staff is or you're just viewing, we're going to have giveaways. We're going to do a bunch of fun stuff. So it'll be a good time. Definitely, if you want to get in the Patreon, go ahead. Producer level and up will get that awesome zine.
Yeah, give us money, get a zine.
Bam. The zine, and it's the first of many. We're gonna try to put out 4 of these things per year. It's exciting times, and so yeah. Oh, we have a question. What's the question, audience? Feel free to ask away.
Yes, my audience member, the question.
The audience, my 3D printer is back here, and I'm actually, there you go. I am printing out Christmas presents. I'm making my dad coasters. Now that I got this 3D printer for like an awesome price, printing out who's your secret Santa. I can't answer that question. If we find out on Friday, I haven't gotten my Secret Santa gift yet, so I don't even know who's delivering it. I can see all the Secret Santas if I want to because I've set up the Elfster account for all of us, but I won't until everybody has theirs delivered or we're going through the process of showing it off. So I don't know, and I'm not telling you who my victim recipient was. I just hope that they like. If you don't like something, just know that this is meant to be a fun thing. And for the folks that would like to be a part of Secret Santa, you missed out. But you can join our Discord at SideQuesting.com and be with us next year when we host it again, because it is a lot of fun. It's always fun to see some of the weird things we get to each other and fun things we get each other. I think it's always a cool thing. So, next Patreon game night. Maybe we could do something early next week. I'm off. Friday's my last day. So I'm going to be celebrating. By the way, Tyler, the way your head is tilted, that reindeer is like a hat. You could tilt it. There you go.
There we go.
We also need to discuss when we're playing Marvel Comic Invasion or whatever.
Yeah, we totally need to. I'm ready. I've got that. JJ's got that, and we do that because I want to do an addendum to my review and talk about the game because I really enjoyed that game. So, but I didn't play multiplayer, so that'd be good. All right. You can see our stuff there. You can see stuff there, but really find us in the Discord. SideQuesting.com, SideQuesting TV on YouTube and Twitch, SideQuesting.com on Blue Sky. And you can find us individually on Blue Sky there. You see our names and stuff, all that fun stuff. With that said, we're going to leave you on this beautiful and blistery Wednesday evening. See you in a couple days. We love you. SideQuest. Bye-bye. Thank you.